Lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Today, we are really giving specific application to the idea for yesterday. In these practice periods, you will be making a series of definite commitments. The question of whether you will keep them in the future is not our concern here. If you are willing at least to make them now, you have started on the way to keeping them. And we are still at the beginning. You may wonder why it is important to say, for example, above all else, I want to see this table differently. In itself, it is not important at all. Yet, what is by itself? And what does in itself mean? You see a lot of separate things about you, which really means you are not seeing at all. You either see or not. When you have seen one thing differently, you will see all things differently. The light you will see in any one of them is the same light you will see in them all. When you say, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are making a commitment to withdraw your preconceived ideas about the table and open your mind to what it is and what it is for. You are not defining it in past terms. You are asking what it is rather than telling it what it is. You are not binding its meaning to your tiny experience of tables, nor are you limiting its purpose to your little personal thoughts. You will not question what you have already defined. And the purpose of these exercises is to ask questions and receive the answers. In saying, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are committing yourself to seeing. It is not an exclusive commitment. It is a commitment that applies to the table just as much as to anything else, neither more nor less. You could, in fact, gain vision from just that table if you would withdraw all your own ideas from it and look upon it with a completely open mind. It has something to show you, something beautiful and clean and of infinite value, full of happiness and hope. Hidden under all your ideas about its real purpose, the purpose it shares with all the universe. In using the table as the subject for applying the idea for today, you are therefore really asking to see the purpose of the universe. You will be making the same request of each subject that you use in the practice periods. And you are making a commitment to each of them to let its purpose be revealed to you, instead of placing your own judgment upon it. We will have 6 2-minute practice periods today, in which the idea for today is stated first and then applied to whatever you see about you. Not only should the subjects be chosen randomly, but each one should be accorded equal sincerity as today's idea is applied to it, in an attempt to acknowledge the equal value of them all in their contribution to your seeing. As usual, the application should include the name of the subject your eyes happen to light on, and you should rest your eyes on it while saying, above all else, I want to see this name of object differently. Each application should be made quite slowly and as thoughtfully as possible. There is no hurry. Lesson 28. Deep insights. Seeing differently means everything at its heart. Lesson 28 is an invitation to let go of the way we see the world. Jesus, through A Course in Miracles, is urging us to make a bold commitment. Above all else, I want to see things differently. That phrase alone challenges the foundation of how we navigate life. Think about it. If we are clinging to what we think we know, why would we ever question it? If I know how to get to the bakery, I don't stop to wonder if there's a new, better, or even more meaningful way to arrive. I already believe I've figured it out. This lesson asks us to stop assuming we know anything. Why? Because our current way of seeing keeps us stuck in a limited, fragmented world. Why won't we question what we've defined? Here's the truth. We define things based on our tiny personal experiences and then lock them into place. Take a table, for instance. You know it's for holding things. But why is that the only meaning you give it? Who says the table can't be a symbol of connection, a platform for community, or even a place where miracles occur? If you've already decided what a table is, you won't ask questions about its deeper purpose. This habit of definition traps us. We see the world as a collection of separate static objects, tables, chairs, trees, people, each defined and compartmentalized. But what is by itself? Can anything truly exist in isolation? The Course says no. Everything is connected. When we define something in isolation, we blind ourselves to its role in the larger whole. Seeing or not seeing, no fence-sitting. The Course makes an uncompromising statement. You either see or you do not. There's no halfway. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Either the room is illuminated or it isn't. This is why Jesus emphasizes seeing one thing differently, because when you truly see one thing, you see all things differently. It's not the object itself, the table, for instance, that matters, but the light you learn to perceive through it. That light is universal. It's the same light you see in the table, in your loved ones, in strangers, and ultimately in yourself. One light, one mind, one love. Think about it like tuning a radio. Once you're on the right frequency, you can hear the music clearly. But if you're stuck on static, you hear nothing of value. Seeing differently tunes you to the frequency of truth. Preconceived ideas, the chains we don't see. When you say, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are committing to withdrawing all your preconceived ideas about it. But what are these preconceived ideas, and why are they so limiting? Imagine you look at a table and think, it's just a table. It's there to hold things. That's a preconceived idea, a definition you've created based on your past. And here's the kicker, you don't even realize you're doing it. These ideas are hidden, buried under layers of unquestioned thought. It's like looking at a painting while wearing tinted glasses. You think you're seeing the painting as it is, but the tint skews your vision. The exercise asks you to take off the glasses, clear your mind, and ask, what is this really? Not what you think it is, but what it truly is. Making a commitment to see. When the lesson says you are committing yourself to seeing, it's not asking for exclusivity. It's not about the table itself. The table is a stand-in, a representative of everything. This commitment applies equally to the chair, the rug, the tree outside, or the person you think you know so well. Nothing is excluded because everything shares the same purpose. The ego craves exclusivity. It wants you to think some things matter more than others, my table, my car, my thoughts. But Jesus is clear. Seeing isn't about exclusivity, it's about universal vision. Every object, every person, every moment has the potential to show you infinite value if you are willing to see it without judgment. What does it mean to withdraw preconceived ideas? Imagine looking at a table and thinking, what are you really for? This question feels strange at first because we're so used to telling the world what it is instead of asking. But when you withdraw your preconceived ideas, you open space for something new to emerge. It's like meeting someone you've judged in the past. Maybe you've labeled them as difficult or untrustworthy. But if you let go of those labels and approach them with curiosity, you might discover qualities you never expected. Kindness, vulnerability, wisdom. The same principle applies to everything. When you stop imposing your judgments, the true essence of things is revealed, the real purpose of everything. The lesson says that underneath all your hidden ideas lies the true purpose of the table, a purpose it shares with all the universe. What is that purpose? In one word, unity. The table, the tree, the floor, the phone, all these things are connected, part of the same whole. Their purpose is to reflect the light of God, the oneness that underlies everything. When you ask, what is this really for? You are asking to see beyond the surface, beyond the limited roles you've assigned. You're asking to see the divine purpose in everything. Equal sincerity. How everything contributes to your vision. The lesson instructs us to choose subjects randomly and apply the same sincerity to each one. Why? Because everything contributes equally to your seeing. A table is no less valuable than a person in teaching you how to see differently. This might sound radical, but it's true. The table doesn't resist your seeing. It doesn't argue with you or cling to its own definition. It's a perfect starting point for learning to withdraw judgment. Practical examples for applying this insight. The table. Sit with it. Look at it. Say, above all else, I want to see this table differently. Notice your thoughts about it, its shape, its purpose, its history. Then let those thoughts go. Ask, what are you really for? A stranger. See someone on the street. Instead of thinking they're just another person, say, above all else, I want to see this person differently. Imagine their inner light, their struggles, their dreams. Your phone. Hold it in your hand. Acknowledge your preconceived ideas. It's just a tool for communication. Then ask, what is your real purpose? Could it be connection, learning, healing? Yourself. Look in the mirror. Say, above all else, I want to see myself differently. Let go of your judgments, your appearance, your flaws, your past. Ask, what am I really for? Closing thought. This lesson is an act of courage. It's asking you to let go of everything you think you know and open your mind to a new way of seeing. It's not easy. The ego resists. But as you practice, you'll begin to glimpse the light that lies beneath everything, something beautiful, clean, and full of infinite value. And in that light you'll see yourself, not as separate but as part of a unified whole. The question isn't, will you see? The question is, are you willing to begin?